Cully, and along with my co-founder, Devin Bernard, we're the team behind Jowl. And to start out, I want to talk about a company called Pet Simple, small company, 3 founders. They make a hardware device for pets that's basically a fitness and GPS tracker. Went through Kickstarter, have about 500 backers, and just like any other early or growth stage company, their goals are simple: sales, product, improve the product, and overall just grow. And when we talked to them, again, the biggest thing that we spoke about was engagement with their users. They realized if they can engage with their users, they can improve the product, get feedback. If they can engage with their users, they could sell more. If they can engage with their users, they could share the word and spread the word. We also spoke with 100 other companies and found out the same thing. But yet when we asked them how exactly they were engaging with companies or engaging with users, there was no distinct answer. It went from email, customer support, all across the board. And then we interviewed users, 200 of them, and asked them one thing. If you had a question, problem, or idea for any company, Nike, Under Armour, anybody, where would you go? And we got back very interesting answers. Usually started with, I'd probably Google it, go to their website, look for contact, or maybe info@company.com, a live chat with a random person. At the end of the day, you know, I'll probably just give up, go to Twitter, and yell at them. We realized there was no direct place, no conditional behavior for users to go when they had that question, problem, or idea. So, knowing both parties have a problem, we want to understand if anybody solved this properly. And they actually have. We've done it a few ways. First, Starbucks. These are all online communities. My Starbucks idea is an amazing site where users can go, suggest product ideas. 300,000 have been suggested. 300 of those have been implemented. Again, this is a huge thing for them with regards to loyalty, again, getting market advocates, and overall crowdsource innovation. Second, PlayStation forums, one some may be familiar with. The idea very simply is, again, connect users with each other. Crowdsource support to solve problems with one another, and again, just interact. Try to create a place where people want to go to talk with other people of the same nature. Dell and many enterprise software companies and hardware companies have the same kind of customer support community forums. Now, if all of these forums are so valuable, and they are, because you can't see the quote down there, but 2015 report came out basically by Forrester that said, this year will be the year, basically, of brand communities because of the dilution of social media and the need for custom companies to bring users back to their site. So, with all these benefits, why doesn't everybody create their own online community? Well, there are a few problems. One, the communities you saw above roughly cost around $1 million, if less, a little bit more. Again, it takes many people to manage. They're costly to implement. At the end of the day, they have limited visibility, meaning they're essentially trying to make their own social network on the back of their site and form whatnot. So again, the lack of exposure, lack of retention for users. And finally, is a poor user experience with multiple logins for each. At the end of the day, a lack of standardization. There's a new learning curve for every single brand community that I go to. So again, me going to PlayStation or going to Starbucks or going to Dell, I have to relearn everything, have a new login, and thus, again, they don't retain users at the end of the day. So we built Jowl, simplified software for brands to create, maintain, and grow an effective online community. Now I'll walk through a use case with one of our clients, Pet Simple. So if you don't know about Jowl, that's fine. This is Pip by Pet Simple, again, one of our clients. So if I had a question, problem, idea, old habits would say I'd go to their site, probably look for a contact page. Go to their site. If I hit contact, I actually scroll down, and what you'll end up is hitting our software. Again, powered by Jowl. Very simple top header. What we really want to do is humanize the brand. No more info@company.com or a random live chat with kind of feels like chat roulette. I want to know exactly who I'm talking to, if it's the founders, if it's customer support, or anybody else. Do you feel like it's an actual human? Second part of that, bring it down a small little bio. And basically it exists as almost like a subreddit within their site. Focus around 3 categories: community, questions, and idea. Questions allow crowdsource support. So for the top voted questions of all time, again, can be seen such as, what does a Pip weigh? When will it ship? Will there be a monthly fee? Ideas. Pet Simple has one thus far, and again about very cool innovation, actually, used in watches. And again, everything is very simple. It allows transparent communication between users, as well as the team itself. And one of the biggest things we looked at was, even though this tool is pretty valuable within their site, it still sits directly on there with limited exposure to their users and new users. So, how do we solve this problem? Well, we created the network of Jowl. And within it, you'll see the rest of our 30 clients, all paying a SaaS subscription fee of $25 a month. And the exact same community you saw before sits right here. So, when we now ask users, hopefully in a year, 2 years from now, if you had a question, problem, or idea for any brand, where would you go? They can say Jowl. That's it. Thank you very much. So Get Satisfaction is another one of our competitors. We've looked at them a few times. They have a great tool and everything, but we've spoken with a few of the companies that actually use them, and they've realized too the idea of replicating both the community within it and then without it, and the actual layout itself. It's been like small UI tweaks and UX tweaks, but the biggest thing really was, again, like a combination of, I'd say, the network itself, really. Yeah, exactly, and that's one of the things, we really did take the time, again, like I'm a big believer, if you're gonna make something for somebody, make it with them. So we spoke with 100 brands and really figured out exactly what they wanted, how they would use it, and now again, when we go back to them and show them the product, it just kind of makes sense. Again, it's a very simple product right now, it's just me and one other guy, we're completely bootstrapped, but we really do want to work with teams, and again, kind of preach our own product here as well, so we'll have our own community right here, where we've already had multiple ideas suggested to us, basically from the clients we work with, talking about what we can implement and how we can do it. Any other questions? Yeah.
But I understand your model. Are you competing with Meetup.com, or you try to
With who? With who?
You're creating communities, right?
Yep.
Is it similar to Meetup, that you can compete with, or
Me-
you try to supplement, add some value?
Meetup, not so much. It's not so much event focused as it is kind of brand focused. Again, the idea, there's obviously Meetup has discussions within like an event like this, I would say. Yes, I guess a Meetup could use us and create a community, but we're more focused on brands and consumer products. Sorry, can you speak a little bit?
I didn't think you could do one thing that kind of Twitter, because I understand that Twitter also helps brands get feedback from the customers, from their clients, and they can also, we can also do analytics at how the customers interact with the brand. So is there anything that you do differently?
Yeah, so the question was this versus Twitter, and obviously, again, like I said before in the user interviews, we had many people say, oh, I'll just go to Twitter to talk to a company. The problem with that is, how many times a day do you think a company gets tweeted at with the same question, the same problem, the same idea? They have to answer every single one. And the reason we turn to Twitter or Facebook or customer support or anything else is because we don't have that conditional behavior. We talk to companies and they say, like, do we really need another channel to communicate with our users? And that's not the problem we're solving, is trying to create another channel. We're trying to be one channel, again, so all users know, instead of trying to go after these different networks and stuff that wasn't built for it, frankly, again, I'll use the one place that was. Anything else? Yeah.
From a developer standpoint, how heavyweight is this to incorporate your own web?
Yeah, so that's another thing we really want. We want it to be as simple as possible and as easy as possible, as we are going with our early growth stage companies, and it takes 2 seconds. It's a small plugin, 2 lines of JavaScript that can be plugged into any page you want. Art? Pricing is just $25 $25 a month right now, and right now we're beta, so if anybody wants to join us in beta, we'll be open for another basically month and a half. And if you're in beta with us, we'll lock you in at $25 a month. We may switch to a pricing based on seats, so if you have 2 people within your company, you're paying X price per month, and we may expand from there. But for right now, we want to keep it below basically $100 a month, because that's what a lot of people are paying, even just for regular form software. That doesn't give you the value this does, especially the network aspect, and they're still paying thousands of dollars a month.
Is that per product, or is it for the entire product line?
Yeah, so like Pet Simple, if they come out with more products, they just have one community basically for their site. Is that what you're asking? Yep, for all the products. If they wanted to do another one, which maybe they could, to separate out sites, and they could also, again, separate out basically where you're talking about individual product within it. And this is the biggest thing we look at. We wanted to standardize this product. If we try to sell to an enterprise right now, like Nike, they'd be like, oh, we want this feature and that feature, and we want it to look like this and do this. And again, like that's exactly why we didn't go after enterprise clients. We want to start with the bottom because we need to standardize this. I want users to know once they see it once, oh, this looks familiar. Even if they go to Pet Simple and they see it, use it, whatnot, even if they never saw the name Jowl, that's fine. And then all of a sudden they go to another site because they backed it on Kickstarter or something, like, oh, I've used this before, I know how this works, and I have a login. So there's no new learning curve. Again, they're just right in there. And a prime makeshift example why we actually want to do this as well is a company called Boosted Board, makes electric skateboards out in California. If you go on their site right now and click community in the top right, they actually just link you to a subreddit. And so the reason they did that was because, again, they know, A, they can have all their community members right there. And then B, they get more exposure to it. So even if somebody wasn't planning on going to boostedboards.com, if they just go to Reddit, again, all of a sudden have this in there, and all of a sudden they see a post like, oh, somebody shared a video about boosted boards. It's attached to it. And so they immediately said, if we added the one feature that we just did, the pinning, just being able to pin a poster at the top, that they'll switch on to us. So hopefully it'll be a new client in the next few months.
Thank you very much.